Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. Today I just want to talk about the month of August and just look at both my models, how they performed. Over here I'm going to go over to the table and I'm going to make a Notion video soon on how to set up your Notion like this if anyone's interested. Please let me know in the comments. The more people let me know the questions and stuff, the more I can include in the video and the better I can make it. Alright, but there is one that will be coming possibly next week on how to build a Notion journal like this. Anyways, over here's my calendar. The entire month of August here, I've got two models. So the first one is NLP, which is usually it's a lower win rate, but it shows up more often and is a lot easier and simpler to follow, versus the 2025 model, which is higher win rate but demands a lot more patience and is harder to follow, but makes you more money. So there's some trade-offs, and I'm going to talk. You're going to be able to see, like, visualize those trade-offs when I go into the table section over here. I have a calculated average of the RR. So this is taking the average, not all the winners but also the losers, giving me my expectancy per trade, which means every trade I take with this model should pay me 2.79 R. It was 5 and 1, and if I only were to trade news, it'd have a much higher expectancy, 3-0. So I would make less money because there'd be less trades, but over the same amount of trades, I'd make more money. It would also require more patience though, so psychologically it'd be harder to trade. And that's the thing about this model, my 2025 model, is I take a lot of faulty trades on this, and my real results don't actually reflect this. Even though these trades, I've taken most of these trades. I'm pretty sure I've taken all of them, to be honest. No, I missed this one, and I think I missed. I think I missed that one. But I know I got this one here. I know I took this one, or one of these. I don't know. Point. And even though I've taken most of these models, even though I've taken most of these trades, I take a lot of faulty trades because it just demands so much patience. And sometimes when but anyways here's just a look at, and I'm gonna go over to the gallery just to kind of show how each of these look. So we have, I don't know if these are ordered from I guess this is August 6th. So this first one loses. There's the price swing lower above midnight and 8:30, and when price gets above that, there's a fair value gap that I would go short on. I'm pretty sure I actually took this one too, because I would have made the entry at that wick high. Instead, it's a little bit above, so I'm probably because I took it, but I don't really remember. I look at so many charts, I don't remember the setups I take and don't take. And then you have, I'll just go through the rest very quickly just so you can kind of see what it looks like, but it's the same idea. It's just a price swing higher or lower, and then we above or below midnight and 8:30, and then you take the first fair value gap if you see displacement. But you get the idea. Very high expectancy, especially if you only trade news, but you do have to be very patient. So what that would look like if I were to trade only this. So there would have been 2 weeks in a row where you would not have traded following this model, and you would have had to been okay with not trading. And if you take a faulty trade too, maybe you get impatient or emotional, you look at it wrong. That can happen, but even then, you're still gonna make money with this model because it just pays you so much. My next model is a bit more interesting. It's the Now my next model is a bit more interesting, and this one, news is irrelevant, so I'm gonna get rid of this filter. But this model is basically, you have Markel midnight, Markel 8:30, at 9:25 to 9:29, anywhere in those 4 minutes, you buy with a 30-point stop loss, 3 RR minimum to the next 5-minute short-term high, and then you vice versa. You sell if you're above midnight and 8:30. You buy if you're beneath midnight and 8:30. So it's very, very simple, easy to follow. You just need 5 minutes a day on the chart, and you just mark 2 levels. That's it. A child could follow that. It's very hard to make mistakes, but you would have had to come off. I think it was one, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 loss streak. You would have been coming off a 7 loss streak mid month with your first win, and then 2 wins in a row, 3 losses, and now in September you got a win. So it seems bad, right? A lot of people are probably going to look at this and be like, whoa, this is alarming. But if you go to a table, and I'm going to select NLP, I'm going to clear the news because it's not based on news. You have all those losses, but guess what? You still make profit. And 0.33, you might think is bad, but it's actually really good. Well, it's not. I wouldn't say it's really good, but it's good. Professional traders, traders that trade at banks like Goldman Sachs. I don't even know if it's Goldman Sachs specifically, but just professional traders in the industry of trading trade their systems at about 0.1 or 0.2 to 0.4 R. So the expectancy is just right at closer to the higher end of where professional traders have their systems. The reality is, this is what trading is for most people. They have high winners. They have winners that pay them a lot, like that 3.64 and 6.36. And if you sum all that up, it's gonna be a positive number in the end. It's 3 times whatever you're risking. So if you risk $100 on each trade, at the end of the month you would have made $300, right? You would have had a lot of losses. You would have had a trade that would have made you over 600, and a trade that would have made you almost 400, and you would have had 7 losses. You would have lost $700 in total. At the end, you would have came out with 300. So I mean, that is what it is. This is one of the I would say least profitable months of the year so far. If you look at where it's at for the entire year, we're gonna go all the way back to the beginning of the year to now. You have we're gonna change this to average, but you have 0.82 expectancy. So that 0.33 is below where we currently are in the year. Is one of the least profitable months, and it makes sense. August, there's a lot less volatility, and it just so happened that there was not as many trades, and a lot of them were losers, right? Still, 22 and 41, it's about 50% win rate, a bit more than 50% actually. So there's still a lot of losers in a year. It's not like it was a bad month. It was, I guess, a meh month. It wasn't bad. It could have been a losing month. I would still have called what you just saw a good month. But to a lot of people, what I just showed you is crazy. Like, a lot of people can't think about going through that many losses in a row. 7 losses in a row. But I know with this model NLP, the odds of the chances in percentages of obtaining 10 losses in a row is almost 80% in a year. So every year I should basically expect to have 10 losses in a row. At some point, I have to be mentally ready to face that. And it does also make it a lot easier when you know those things, because now you're actually, ready to you expect them, and you're more ready to face them psychologically. So you're more likely to, push through the pain and follow the rules, and overall, at the end of the day, following all the process, at the end of the year, come out on top with some money in your pocket. So yeah, that was basically it for, just maybe I could show you how some of these NLP models look, but a lot of losses. As you can see, the winners are huge. This is it for the video. I hope everybody enjoyed, and maybe for those of you that are newer, maybe this was insightful. If it was, feel free to let me know. I'd love to see that comment. It's very encouraging and heartwarming. And to everybody else and you, good luck this next coming week. Hopefully the market doesn't take your head.